Welcome guys to ChatTactic number 15 for the year. We're going to be just going through gaming news, I guess. There's a few games I did want to cover today. I've sort of put them in the title. One is Castlecraft, so we'll have a good look at that. And the other one is Strategos, which is only a demo at this stage, but really, really exciting. I've got a video actually which will be going live maybe an hour or two after this one finishes, and that will, I'll just go through and do a bit of a deep dive into Strategos, so I'll cover that one as well. But I thought I'd cover those two games. We'll do for the giveaway today. We will actually also have another first and last place. I've still got a fair few keys there for different games, so I'm not sure which games they will be at this point in time. I won't even say it because I'll forget by that stage. Hi Chris, how you going? Hi to anybody else that's joined us as well. So that will be the plan for today, and then we'll just sort of ease our way through different games. But I thought I'd start off with Castlecraft and just sort of go through and show that, because I probably won't be doing any sort of like major video on that one, and I think I can sort of show the way that one works in in 10 minutes or something like that. So I think I'll just fire that one up and get into it. So I'll just undo that one through there. Where are we? There's a few other things, like we've got. I've just downloaded a game called Bonaparte, which I don't even know if that's come out yet, but it's. I'm allowed to show that as of today, I believe. This is a game I'm not sure how that one's going to go. So I've from this. Well, I'll talk about that when we get to it. So we've got a few games we're going to be talking about. We're going to be doing the. This is the Castlecraft. It's got playtest there. I'm not sure if this is the full game or not, but I think Castlecraft has just come out. So we'll go and have a bit of a look. It does say play test, so that may be like a special version of it. We'll go and load it in. And I won't play much of it. I'm only sort of early into it as well. So yeah, I'll just go and proceed. Now, I don't think I can save it when I'm doing things. So I'll just go in and just click on this one through here. I'll just load the profile and play. Back in through here. So essentially what it is it's a castle building game. So you've sort of got these different areas. You get attacked by these sort of skeletons, wave upon wave of skeletons, and you've got to have built you're slowly building up a castle in the meantime. So I'll just go and grab this one here. Why is that not wanting to work? I'll just go and play. That's the one that we're currently on. Current wave is number 3 in this playthrough that I've got. Now I've already screwed up. I've spent money where I shouldn't have spent it, and I don't have any stone, so I can't build a quarry. So I'll try to explain the way the game actually does work, because I know some of you will actually be interested in this one. So I didn't even get to read that one actually. Sorry, it sort of went. So we're preparing for wave 3 in the castle. I'll just go through what's been actually done. Just WASD. I've got a couple of archer groups down through this other side. I have a whole lot of traps in through here. I've got to protect the king in the middle there. It's at very, very early days yet. So the king is in here. So he's the one that we have to go and protect. I can move my guys around. Like I can grab, for example, this guy and say, hey, follow me with F. And I can move them up and out. And I'll just move them to the other side over here. And once I'm happy with where they're going to be positioned, like over here, for example, then just press G, and then they sort of then back doing their own thing. So I can sort of move the troops around just by getting them to follow me. That there is where they're going to be coming through, and you can see there's a wave going to be coming in about 7.5 minutes. So at the moment, this is where I can actually then go and do my building. I'm going to need to do more protection of the king. He's going to. What I might do is I might just go and build traps. You can see number 4 down through there. I can just go and build the various traps. So this is sort of like the build aspect of it. Just go across. They tend to just beeline straight for the actual king, and so I'll place these here. When these are placed, there is actually a. I'll just go and press number 1 or something like that. Number 1 is where I've put my combat, my sword. So I've got like different things that happen through there. I've got like a builder, and he's just sort of working away through there. We also have things like, we've got to build farms. You can see that there's the resources down in the bottom right. We've got money. Actually, I do have the money this time. I got killed in the last one, so I think it's gone back to where I was. So I'm just going to go and I'll show you how to, if I press the tab key, and then come back through. Now I can actually look at the chat. There's no way to really pause the game, I don't think, without actually pressing this. So unfortunately, there is no active pause, and that's actually I always prefer to have active pause in the games. Chris is saying, have you been enjoying the new Zephon content? I'll talk about that as well, actually. I'll talk about it when we get to it. That's one of the games I do want to talk about. Hi, ZXM, how you going? And Tommy Casper saying, good morning, happy lunch break where I am. Hope the day's going well. Well, it's pretty early in the morning here. It's just gone 2 o'clock, I think, in the morning. So it's very, very early. It's Tuesday for me, even though it's sort of Monday is when we do these for the rest of the world. Okay, so this is the skill tree, the basic skill tree, and you can see that there's different unlocks and things that you can sort of then go and get for area of effect traps. I've got this here is projectile traps, but these all cost me gold. Like that's 100 gold to get that one. For me to purchase an arrow, so I can use archery, is going to cost me 300 gold, which I don't want to be doing at this point in time. At level 1 of 8 of my actual sword and shield, so I probably won't be wanting to spend money on that one. Also, this upgrade in through here, you can sort of see through here the next up at tier 2, I can harvest rock, so I can start to do some. That's pretty cheap, so I'm just going to press the F key. I'm just going to go and grab that. So I'm now at tier 2, and at tier 3, I can then go and harvest metal. So that's going to cost me 30 gold, which is not too bad. Again, we had about 300 and something gold. One thing I do want to be doing though is mining. So mining is important. Anything that's got like a square corners, I can double click to actually open it up to have a look and see how it actually does work. So this is actually my economic zones. So I'm just going to double click those. And we can see through here that I've opened up the farming zone, which is in the Q key. E is my forestry zone, and then for 100, this is what I didn't do last time, which I need to now do, is press F to purchase. For 100 is the quarry zone. I do need this, so I can now just go and press F. Now that's going to give me the quarry. The next one is going to be for metal, so I can start to now build up the quarry. So that's now going to come into the R key. I'll just show you how that one does work. There is rock in behind us, so if I just go and press tab again, I'm going to go and press number 3 and then R to go and build a quarry. I'm going to build the quarry back over here somewhere, which is near the rock. So I'm just going to go into here, click, and you can see how many sort of workers. I need to get at least 2, so I'll just go and build that one there. And so that's just using wood. The builder will then make his way across there. What I can do is I can also just go back to my pickaxe now that I've actually unlocked it, and just go across, and so I'll just do that for a couple of minutes, just get some more wood, some more rock. So you can see I've only got 1 rock. I spent it unwisely. So we're now recruiting a mason. There we go, we've got 30. I'll just get a few of these. So I'll just get a little bit. There we go, over 200. So the masons will also just come and automatically now start to work, like as we sort of get these things built, those economic zones. And now I've still got one little row. I'm going to put the rock wall down in the front there. So if we go into the actual building queue, 6 is not actually rock. That's just dirt, and I made a mistake with what I had done back there. 5 is the castle. So if I go back into 5, I've then got different things that I can go and do. I think is that the one that I need to be doing. And let me have another look at tab. This is all the different things I can go and build. Backbone, no, that is only wood. Should be able to build things out of stone. Yeah, these are all just stone. Sorry, all just wood. Oh, plaster. Well, and then finally stone down the bottom there. Right, we've still got money, so let's go and undo plaster. So we will press F and purchase that one. We also then have another 25 to get decorations, which we won't worry about because at this stage we're just trying to get protection. So plaster is stronger than wood and not as expensive as stone, ideal for housing inside your castle. Well, let's go and use that one. So if we double click this one through here, we're now seeing like a next level up of the castle type walls. And at this stage we really are just trying to protect the king. So I'll add that one in. So I'm just going to go across back to this screen. Actually, that's automatically come in at number 9. I can chop and change these into different areas to go and build. So I'll just go number 9, and I will just, and so to build the walls, if I can use the WASD keys. I'm just going to move across. I'll click there, and then I'll click the height. So I'll just build that one in front. Again, the builder will then just make his way through. So I've still got 4 minutes before the wave hits. I've still got 127 in through there. You can see there the food is quite healthy. The wood is quite healthy. Stone is actually up there now as well. So I can still go and purchase something for 127. What else should we get? So I can go and get at tier 2. I get 4 builder minions. At the moment, I've only got 1, I think. Or it might be a couple. I'm not sure. This is this allows us to build further out. We don't need that one just yet. This is the salvage. So we've got this. I've put the salvage in there, but I haven't really used it yet. The terrain mastery, where the digging moats protect your clearing space for expansion. This skill gives you the proper terraform your environment and create the perfect battlefield. That's only 40. I might throw that one in there. I don't know what that one actually does. Something looks like it does actually allow me to do different things. I'll throw that one into this one here. So I can always just drag them in. So if I go back to number 6, I'm not sure what that does. Oh, it terraforms what's there. Okay, no, I don't really want to be doing that one. So I'm sort of, so at this stage, I mean, I still can keep on building more wooden structures. So I'll just go back out to number 5. Let's go and create like another wall. Actually, I'll just go and move out of the way first. Just press number 2 or something like this. So that's like a plaster wall, which will make it harder for them to get through to the king. There will be sort of like, there will eventually be flying units as well that will come up against us. Let's just go and build another outer wall out here somewhere. So if I go into this area, I can just go and get rid of this, just to flatten the land. I will find some resources here, but not a hell of a lot. I'll just wait until we get to the wave. I'm not sure how to trigger the wave. There is a way to trigger the waves, but I haven't been able to find it yet. So another flat zone out here. Now again, if I go back to the tab and go back and do bring this one back into that zone there, and then press 6, I can then just go and flatten out this part of the of what's actually going on. So if I sort of move that one into there, for example, so that's just sort of give me a nice flattish area for working. This one does use a fair bit of rock. So it's sort of, I don't know why it's so expensive to do that, but anyway, we'll just clean that up, and then we'll build more defences back out a bit further. So we'll go back out to 5, and I'll just build another wall out this way. And I'll build yet more traps as well. But it's not it's a fun sort of game, like just in terms of what it does do. The one thing I wish you could do is pause the game. Like it just there is a creative mode where you don't have to worry about anything. Actually, I'll just get another line there of let's go to 6. I'll just get the another trap. Oops. Let's go to 4, and then build that one. And we'll go back to 5 and just build more of the wall. So it's fairly simple to actually use this. Let's go back to number 1. Now we've still got 87 left. Let's just see what else we can spend. That's the portal is now getting ready to open up. Let's press tab. So I can't afford that one just yet. We also can bolster our king. So I'll just go and double click that one. So for 50 we can get him more health. So we'll do that because if he dies, it's the run is over. So I'll just go down and we'll watch what actually happens here. It's only 45 seconds before they actually come. We have like quests sometimes to do different things. If I press J, there's different quests across on the side there, like to go and do different bits and pieces. But again, I'm not sure how to actually access the wave itself. You get more gold and more points if you can bring the wave in early. 24 seconds now, and so this is going to then spawn a whole lot of different skeletons which will have different abilities as they come through. Okay, here we go. 5 seconds. Here it is. And these are random. Like I said, this is procedural, like these sorts of monsters that come in. You're looking at mainly just grunts, I think. Okay, these are blocking skeleton grunts. Now these, some of them will be able to jump. Melee damage. This unit can block incoming arrows. All right, because we've been using arrows against them. So here they come. See how there's some that are jumping? They can jump over the castle walls, and there will be some also that are going to be coming in that have that will have arrows, archers now, I think, as well. Yep. All right, let's move out of the way. So we'll wait until we've actually got our group. Our archers are now firing back. We're trying to get to the king. I'm just got to basically finish off these as they come in. The king's health is that sort of middle bar of red. I'm going to go out now and take on the other hordes. Mainly these archers, because they're going to be causing a lot of damage. So I've drawn all of these away. I've also got my health in the top left. As long as I keep on running away, I'm sort of okay. It's these archers that we need to get rid of. The king's health is going down a little bit. We get the gold by dealing with these. This one's okay. Looks like we're doing pretty well this turn. King is still actually okay. These guys are trying to smash their way through the wall that we've then created. Now, if we stand on our traps, we also then get damaged. Still on the trap. Oops, our king is in trouble. Down to 50%. How many have we got left? That's it. Okay, we've survived that particular. We then get a victory, which is great. And so that's the next wave. And so it's random what you're going to have come up against you. This is very, very early at this stage. So the king then will give us a bit of a reward. So we get a gold modifier through here. So we picked up another 225 gold. We just go next. So victory, wave 3 has been obliterated. These are spoils of war, so total gold pickup was 72 because of the dead units. And we then actually have, are we going to restore what we've got in the castle? Or we can skip over it. But if I just restore it, we at least start back where we were. And as I say, I sort of wish that there was a way to block what's going on. So this is actually what happened with the actual attack in the end. So it's now just restoring the castle. And it just rebuilds it essentially to where it actually was. And then we go to the next wave. And so now we've got 9 minutes. So we end up with a little bit more, but the waves get bigger and more difficult to then go and contend with. So anyway, that's Castlecraft. I thought I just should show that because I'm not going to do a full video on it because that's pretty much it. Like I said, that's enough to sort of to see what's actually happening through there. I'll just see if while I've got this one pause if there's any comment or question about it before I turn it off. Okay, so what did we get up to? So yeah, I think Chris said hi before. So Thomas is saying evening. Chris is saying this is like a surface level dungeon keeper kind of. Yeah, actually that's a very good analogy actually. Yeah, that's pretty much. It is actually. It's like dungeon keeper but with waves that you know when they're coming. Yeah, that's a very very good analogy. It does feel like that. Yeah, I didn't even think of that when I was sort of playing it, and it was for me. It's just a castle builder, but it's actually your dungeon keeper sort of probably does sort of fit nicely in that sort of in that sort of area. Hi Jerry, how you going? And Jerry's saying really enjoying the Shadow Empire playthrough the other day. Great game. What are your thoughts on Zephon in comparison to Gladius? I will go through and talk about that actually. I'll do a deep dive into Zephon today as well. AI does all the fighting for me, says Jerry. Not sure what you're referring to there. Anyway, we'll go back. We'll keep on going. Gorix saying, "Hi Daz, what is this game about? A new Cataclysmo? Is the style in the style of Minecraft? It's certainly voxel based, but I think that Chris has nailed it, where it does feel more like Dungeon Keeper in the sense you're not mining as such. You are building on the surface, but you're still building a castle. So yeah, it's a little bit like Cataclysmo. Cataclysmo is a lot about the building your castle up. This is all about defense. This doesn't feel anywhere near as castle buildery as Cataclysmo. So if you're if it's the castle building that you're more interested in, then Cataclysmo is the better game, by a mile. Whereas because this one, all I'm doing is putting obstacles in the path of whatever's going to be coming. That's really all I'm doing at this stage. So in this particular game, so it's sort of more just trying to build protections. So it's an interesting game, but not in the same. Not in this. If you're talking castle builders, Cataclysmo is a much more polished experience in the sense of what you do get out of that one. So hi Sketic, how you going? And Michael, Chris is saying a strange game, and not one I thought you'd play. Well, the dev approached me and then sent me a key, and I do actually like these games, but I tend not to. I couldn't see myself putting out an actual video about it. So that's why I thought, look, I'll do it as a ChatTactic video, and I'm starting to do that a lot, with different videos now. If they're sort of smallish, if the scope of the game is smallish, I will then do it that way. So we sort of then go and cover what's actually going on with that one through there. So yes, and this game sort of fits that bill. It's not big enough in terms of being able to show what it does do. Like I did that in 10 minutes or so. That's enough. Like I can do it here on ChatTactic rather than doing it as a special video, unless it's something that really really grabs me. So okay, so Richard Phillips is saying, what's going on here? You don't play games like this. Is this sponsored? No, it's not. Not at all, actually. I do enjoy these sort of games. It's sort of funny, but I do like active pause, and I'm going to show you one of the most exciting games that I've seen in a long, long time. I'm going to play that one next, and then we'll get to Zephon after that. I think so. We've got Nightbot. I'm sorry. It will actually, if you use caps or I'll just view the deleted message. I'm sure it won't be anything too bad. Oh, there we go. Yeah, actually, it is spam. Sorry, Nightbot did a good job there. Nightbot did a good job. So anyway, that's fine. So we had the anyway. You've been on the Sherry Daz, says Richard Phillips. So I mean, we're playing this sort of game. No. Looks great. Wish list it said ZXM. There we are. And Richard Phillips saying, I hate time limits too stressful. Nedland saying hi all. And yeah, it's sort of like, I find it annoying. I just wish there was a way, and I don't think there is. If I go back into the settings and have a look at the mouse and keyboard. Like I had a quick look in here. This tends to be usually is one of the first things that I do. We've got the this is like left shift, rotate left. This is building interactions. I thought it would be in here if there was one. Like the tab key certainly pauses the game, but you can't do anything. And open settings or skip the sequence with the escape also pauses the game, but you still can't actually do anything. And I just think, I don't know why devs don't allow players like me to be able to have active pause. I don't see a good reason for it, because it stops people from buying the game. And this one is one of these games where you've got limited time to do what you have to do. I'd much prefer for me it would be so much more creative to actually be able to pause, build nicely, really think it through, and sort of like Cataclysmo. Cataclysmo is like that. So Cataclysmo does have an active pause. So in terms of castle building, Cataclysmo for me is far superior to this game. But in terms of just if you enjoy waves of units and sort of just doing trying to sort of build up traps and so on and so forth, then this game is sort of up there as well. So yeah, it's the lack of active pause does get in the way of the of it being more creative, in my opinion. But still fun nonetheless. I've actually I've had a bit of fun with this particular game. Hi Nedland, did I say hi? I think I said hi before. So Sketic saying it looks a lot like a fantasy version of Unturned. Unturned. I remember that game. Yeah, actually, yes, with the zombies. Yes, that was fun. Actually, that was a fun little game. Unturned was more open world, which was actually pretty cool. Hi Tenru, how you going? And then Jerry's saying, what are your thoughts on Zephon compared to Gladius? We'll get back to that one. And even classic RTS games like Supreme Commander has an active pause. Yeah, it's sort of like active pause for me is so important. It's sort of almost one of those things that I wish devs would actually highlight if it does have an active pause, because you often don't know if it's got one until you actually get to open up the keyboard shortcuts with a lot of games. And it's sort of one of those things that's so important for a lot of real-time games that they do have it. Let's quit out of that one. So do you really want to quit? Yes, we do. You want to save for progress? Yes. All right, so what we'll talk about now, so we'll come back to Zephon in a minute, but we'll talk about a game that is really exciting. And all it is it's only a demo available, so you can download this one. I will be, as I said, I've got a pretty broad presentation coming. Like it goes for about an hour and a half actually, of like showing the game in all its depth. But Strategos is the game that I'm actually really excited about. This one here, Strategos demo. I'll just open it up. So this is a Microprose game. And so I'll open it up and then we'll talk about it, because and I'll just do it very briefly. So Strategos is if you imagine Total War in like an ancient version, like in the ancient era of Total War, had if you ended up having basically tabletop rules for Total War, which really makes it much more intricate than Total War is, but in the same vein as Total War. So I'll just go across into the historical battle simulator, and for the demo, you've only got like a few different things that you can do through here. So there's certain things we do and don't have. So in this case, Polybian Rome. So this would be coming in as Romans. I'll just leave this where this one is. We've got Pyrrhic in through this other side as well. Actually, that's exactly what I did last time. I'll change this one up. We've got a few different ones in here. Again, I won't go through too much of what we have. Actually, no, I did change it. I think I played Carthaginian for the for what we were doing. So I'll play as the Romans versus the Greek Pyrrhic forces. So we'll just go this way in through here. You have I won't go through all the different aspects. I do all this when I go into my actual video. So I'll just go and start the battle up. But I'll show you what this game has got. So just this will be just a whet the appetite for the video that will be coming. Things like impetuous units can be goaded into charging with shooting. Each unit has its own pros and cons, but it really is like Total War mixed with Field of Glory. It uses very much the same mechanics as Field of Glory, but in a real-time Total War type aspect, and it works very, very well. The only thing I can think of. There's a few things I'm not sure about what's going to come with the game. There's going to be a campaign. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's going to not be an overworld sort of strategic map, like, for example, Field of Glory Empires or Field of Glory Kingdoms. So for me, it's very much like the early days of Field of Glory, the actual tabletop adaptation. So in this case, we've got like two generals back and through here, and I'll just go and get this one started. I won't sort of do too much. Looks like they're actually going to be having some flankers into this other side. So they're using cavalry on this edge, Greek armoured cavalry. I won't actually play the game too much, but we'll just go and have a bit of a look. Their skirmishers are now moving forward. They've got spearmen, and they've got hoplites in through here with spears. Then they've got these pikemen back and through this other side, and more spearmen back over the other side, more cavalry. At the moment, if it's only just the battle simulator, it's going to be a little bit light on. This is one of the big aspects about the game that I'm not all that enamored with. Here we go. This is actually interesting. These guys are now calling in different orders, and these are runners coming from the general. This general doesn't have the range to be able to go and reach all these guys, and so they're using their couriers to go out and give orders to the different units. So this is a big aspect of the game, is that until a courier arrives, they'll do certain things on their own, but not everything. Let's go and move ours out. So if I just press Control, I can then sort of go through and just grab these. I'm just going to move them out to the front there a little bit more. We'll just leave our forces where they are. These guys are trying to come in so that they can get a flanking manoeuvre against us. We don't actually have any cavalry. Ours is mainly just all going to be done with basic troops. I won't pause this one, but this one does have. If I press the space bar, it toggles the pause. I can then start to manoeuvre and manipulate. This one is now trying to come in and get a flanking shot against my velites. This one's also coming through to try to get a flanking shot. So we've actually now left our units without anything to do. There's another thing that I don't like about the game, and that is that you can't keep a formation. And that's something that really the game needs to have. So I'm just going to go and place this one in through here. I do actually have a field of command, like this is my command radiuses, and so I need to move these equites up, like the cavalry. So I'll just go and move them a little bit closer to the combat from each of these. These have both got equal command radiuses. That's the ranged radius in through there. So we'll start to now fire on these guys. Let's just go and, as long as they're within the command radius, they don't have to send out anything else. Let's go and move that one off to the flank. And this one as well. If I press Control and Alt, I can see where everything is going to be moving. Let's just unpause again. And these are now going to run. We move to attack. So that's now we've gone too far out, and so they've now completely smashed those. These guys were running across. We'll just move them across again back to where they were. These are now hindering each other because they're trying to move through each other. These have been disordered, exactly like Field of Glory. So I'll just play with an unpause. These are ready coming in to try to get a flanking attack. Let's move these out this way. And we'll move these across this side as well. Just move those in where they are. That one's trying to get a flanking manoeuvre, that particular general. The star means there's a general there. just leave all of these as a clustered lump in the middle here. And I'll just go and I can also just grab a group and just give it like a number. So if I go Shift 1, that's now all been put into a single force. Let them, they've been goaded into attacking, which is good. This one has been disordered, these Astartes. So they've sort of failed different resistance checks. The skirmishers can sort of move back through the forces, but it's a very, like it's still got the same sort of a tabletop feel as Field of Glory, like in the graphics. They don't look real, so they do look like tabletops. Now we're accepting a charge. That's going to be trying to get a charge, but our guys have come through and smacked into that one. Okay, let's now move forward with everything. Just get everything sort of joined up. Now, the cavalry that was back there, I think is still around. So I'm just going to keep these Triarii back. Yeah, they're coming back in to try to get a rear attack. Did the other one go? Yeah, the other one's way back over here. Now they're hindered. Okay, go on the attack while they don't know what to do. Leave them where they are. So we've our centre has now collapsed. And again, with it paused, the other thing that's interesting about this is that when the different forces come in, these have been disordered. I can tell them at the moment just to go into guard mode, which means don't move either forward or backward, but I can get them to go and start to push back against the group. We've now accepted a charge from these as well. Let's push back against this one. So I can give them actual orders as to how to respond. That's going to try to move in and get a flanking shot against this group. This general. They've now been caught. The Triarii will do a good job there. I'm going to move that general down this way. That one's still looking after itself. These guys are all fighting now. And we should actually win against these. Just tell that one to go into pushback mode. And go into the pushback mode here as well. Let's just start to sort of push all of these backwards. And we're doing well here. We're just going to do a charge. Yep, so they're going to start to collapse. So what have we got there? These are just low level. Triarii, they've been able to extract themselves. So the Triarii is holding the rear. That's been routed. Now you can see that there's got, like in Field of Glory, if one routes, the other ones will then sort of catch along. So these are all now routed. And we're up to, we're doing fairly well. This one's now fragmented because of the firing that's going on. This is Astarte. We're just going to move this one up into the middle. Still protecting the rear flank in through here. Actually, they've now collapsed. We'll go and try to allow this one to go back in. So we've actually now lost on this side, and we have now a rear flank coming in. That's going to immediately drop this one, I think. We're going to end up with a problem in here. And we'll just go back and move these across. So that one's now running away. We're doing well in through this other side. We've certainly sort of crushing these. Here we go. Now we got disordered, unfortunately, so we've got like a bit of a failure there. The general died. We've held on here now, so we've been able to sort of plug the gap. So I'm not pausing this, but this is sort of like, it's pretty cool the way it does actually work. So it's sort of, it's total war, but with the tabletop rules of disordering, fragmentation, flanking attacks, all sorts of things like that, which Total War does sort of have it a little bit, but this is so much more deep. Move to attack. We're going to catch them. That's too far away, so we need to send in groups. That's now been fragmented. General died in the middle there. That's not sure which one that actually is. That's our general. And we're now running away. So they may still win this with everything that's actually going on. So you can see down the bottom here, I could actually sort of just manipulate it here, but I won't pause. But it's from a battle perspective, this is really, really cool. This is our last general. There we go. So the plebeian Roman army wins. You can see it's pretty short and sharp, like when you don't pause it. When you pause it and go through it in detail, there's a lot that goes on, and a lot more than what I've sort of shown there, which I do show in the other video that's going to be coming in a couple of hours' time, or a few hours' time. So if you're interested in this, and I was really blown away by this game when I first saw it. I was thinking, wow, this could be the start of something really, really quite special. And there's a whole lot of stuff that will be coming as well. So I won't spend too much more time on that one, but look out for that one. I'll just see if there's, if I just go across, you can swap sides and then do different things to sort of test things out and see how things do go. There's going to be looks like there's going to be a fair few orders of battles as well, like different types of units. Now, where do we get up to? We've got, what are your thoughts on Zephon? Yeah, did that one? I saw it there, so we'll come back to that one in just a minute. Well, if you can't pause, you can't really think, can you, says Richard Phillips. Yeah, that's with the other game. This one does have active pause, completely active pause. GFFG is in saying there will be a Stellaris gameplay, so Biogenesis DLC is out. I don't sort of really ask for the Stellaris DLC. I've missed too many of them, and so I don't tend to cover Stellaris anymore. It's just the DLC bloat actually stops me from covering it, to be perfectly honest. It's just too much to try to keep up with, and so I just can't keep up with Stellaris, and that's the same with a lot of the Paradox games. I find that I like what they do, I like what they have, but unless I'm really into one of their games, like for example Age of Wonders, I will cover that one, until they stop developing it, basically, because I absolutely love it. But with Stellaris is a game that I like but don't love, and once I start to miss the DLC, and once I start looking at seeing all the different holes in the DLC collection that I've got, in my library for Stellaris, I think it's now too much. I've now let it go. It's now gone for way too long. So I tend not to cover Stellaris. I don't not recommend it. I just have the DLC bloat has. I can't keep up with it. So that's pretty much sort of where I am. Okay, so Richard Phillips is saying I used to play that board game when I was a kid. I think you must mean Field of Glory. Yeah, it was actually a tabletop game, and then it became a computer. And the computer game is awesome as well. But I thought I'd show this because this one, it really looks like it's like Total War, but with much more intricate tabletop rules associated with it. Now where are we? So we've got the. So Chris C is saying kind of bored with Stellaris. I keep returning to it, but it's like a McDonald's nice food, not a real lot of substance. I personally prefer Gal Civ 4. So Gal Civ 4 I follow. I love that one as well. Celtic's saying, hey Daz, I was wondering if your art has ever been featured in any games, not counting your mods. Have you designed different maps and the like? No, I haven't actually. I don't think I have. I can't think it's that any of them ever have, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, I really don't think so. So, and Ned Land is saying, Total War, is diplomacy an option here? No, this is what I mean. Like, this is where, at the moment, it's like the early days of Field of Glory with this particular game, and that's going to hinder it a little bit, because Field of Glory is now matured to have Field of Glory Kingdoms and Field of Glory Empires. So we've got like a way of actually playing a really in-depth campaign using the tabletop system for Field of Glory, whereas this game doesn't have that. And so it would be cool if it did, but I don't think it's going to have that. It does have a campaign. If I just go back out to the main menu, just leave it on the main menu aspect. So it does have campaigns, But I think it's just going to go from battle to battle to battle, like the early days of Field of Glory, I would assume. So that's sort of how I think it's going to play out, which is unfortunately not very immersive. So I much prefer to have something that's a bit more meaningful. I mean, Field of Glory also went through through a whole string of different ways of doing campaigns before finally, they got Ageod to then look at building an actual whole system, within the Field of Glory sort of, realm, to actually then bring out empires and kingdoms. So, but before that, like if you have a look back at the various Field of Glory games that came out, some of their campaigns were maybe I'll even show that. Let's just quit out of this one and just. But Strategos, have a look out for it. I think it's the start of something that could be really quite exciting. Depending on how they, as I said before, like if they don't bring in like some sort of meaningful campaign, eventually it's going to get boring pretty quickly, I think, in the sense that Field of Glory also was fun to play if you just wanted to play a battle, but if you wanted to play something beyond that, it was tricky. Also, the maps aren't random, which also bothers me. So there's a few little things like that I hope that they will address at some point. There's a few things in the video. I do mention a few different things. It was the lack of random maps that may or may not come. I don't know. The fact that the campaign not being a full campaign, which I don't know if it is or not, is a major problem for me. What else is there? Yeah, I just think that I will enjoy the game at different times, but I won't be wrapped in it unless there's actually something to sort of like if there's no glue to keep me in the actual game, like a campaign mode that's meaningful. I don't think I'll sort of end up really, I'll play it a bit over time. So, but I love the idea of it. So it's sort of one of these things where I really like what I'm seeing, but just not actually. But I can also see that it's going to be fun for little bits, if you know what I mean. Like Total War, for example, has a campaign, overlay, and I've got some of those are pretty weak, but like with Total War Warhammer, like that's actually really quite a good campaign overlay over the top with the maps and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping that they do something like that. That would be very cool. Okay, let's have a quick look at. Actually, while we're talking about this, I'll go back to the chat in just a minute. But there we go. Strategos Games is actually here. It's so welcome, guys. Actually, I almost got to where you were, and then I thought, oh, you're actually in here. So Strategos Games is saying, in context, it seems like what he meant was to move his line of non-light infantry he had selected forward together while maintaining their offset and facing. But I can't be sure. Yeah. So that was. Okay, so what have we got through there? So Alt-right click to move while maintaining formation. Yeah, there's a few keyboard shortcuts. Oh, okay. So it's Alt-right click to move while maintaining formation. Ah, okay, because that was actually another thing I wasn't sure about. So, well, there we go. There's a few little things. Well, then when that video comes out, I do actually, that was one of the other negatives. I couldn't find how to do the formation move. So I thought, oh, that's surprising that it doesn't actually have it, but that's actually pretty cool. But that's but yeah, I'm really excited for this game. Like it's sort of one of these things. When I first opened it up and saw what it did, I thought, wow, this is awesome. Taking the tabletop mechanics, and particularly if you've played Field of Glory, you're going to feel right at home understanding the complexity of the combat. So because the terminology is the same, and it's sort of like even points of advantage are used, things like that. So it's sort of so there's a combination of different tabletop games that have sort of been applied to the game itself. So if we have a look at the campaigns, let's just do a bit of a different dive into some of the other games that came out for Field of Glory. Like if we go back into, if I do a search for Field of Glory. And so with the Field of Glory 2, let's just go back to 2, because Field of Glory 2 on its own is literally just the ancient, this is sort of like the equivalent ancient one in through here. Their campaigns are literally just a string of battles one after the other, so they're really boring. So the actual campaign mode in Field of Glory is really quite weak. But what they did, even before this was developed, they sort of have like So it's not something that was important because they had empires was going to be coming as well. But before that, there was games like Pike and Shot, and which is also a see how it's got Pike and Shot campaigns. They ended up having to build a special game for campaigns for this, but even the campaigns, which is this screen here, even the campaigns are fairly weak, and but it still works better than nothing. And so in this case, what they ended up doing was having like a series of maps where you'd actually then have to protect the different regions on the map, and you would then sort of move your forces in to across the various campaign maps. That would be cool if that was actually what we ended up with in Strategos. I'd be very, very happy with that, but I don't know if it will be. I think it may be more like the original sort of Field of Glory type games where it's just a string of battles. Whereas this one, at least you ended up having different things inside. I can't make it any larger than this. I don't think there's anything else to do with the group. So this is sort of like, this is the Field of Glory before Field of Glory. This is another campaign mode that we sort of end up having again, where it's just sort of different regions. So, but this was sort of like their first look at really trying to do something with in the Field of Glory engine, with actually trying to get a campaign that sort of still worked. And so this was a simple way to do the campaign, and that if it ends up with campaigns like this, where you've got choice of where you go and how you do things, that'd be great, but I don't know if it will. So I don't know, I'm just talking out of my ass here as to what Strategos is going to be bringing to the picture in the long run. The other game that was quite interesting was, in fact, I think this one came after, this is 2015, this is now 10 years old. This is the campaigns was different than Pike and Shot. That was sort of like an expansion to Pike and Shot. And Sengoku Jidai, Shadow of the Shotgun. This one here is also one that that is a Field of Glory. This is a sort of like another one of the basic. If I just go back into what they ended up having, this one this was where the campaign I think was first introduced in Field of Glory. So it's Field of Glory mechanics that we sort of see. This is more like the old style Field of Glory. This is before Field of Glory 2. This is from 2016. Yeah, so maybe Pike and Shot must have come before Sengoku Jidai. So this one also had a pretty good basic, really, really basic campaign in the way it sort of did work. What else was there? There was more in this one. Look at the bundle info. Empires of the Dragon, it's Army. I don't know if this is the one. Yeah, so this one I think started to try to introduce different areas as well in its campaign. Can't really sort of see it too much in through there. So the Gengo campaign. So there's different campaigns that were in this one as well. Just a very, very basic one, but you still had choice about where you went. Whereas the original Field of Glory game, you didn't. It was literally just a string of battles, one after the other. So again, it would be very, very interesting to sort of see what Strategos has got there. So Strategos Games are saying, and I'll try to sort of, whenever I see something with Strategos Games, I'll try to talk about it because they'll know exactly what's coming. So Strategos Games has said, for campaigns, the game will release with text-based historical campaigns that string together battles, like you mentioned, with the original Field of Glory. I'm also working on a simple dynamic map. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be so cool. It's one of these things where the reason I'm so excited about this game is because this is step one of what could be something really, really special. Like it's and that's actually so that's why I thought the campaigns would be like the original Field of Glory type campaigns. Get the engine right, get the mechanics of the battle right, which is really where the heart of the game is. Which is like, I'm really impressed with that aspect of it. And then over time, like if the game sort of does well, then develop these other sort of extraneous aspects. But yeah, it's very, very exciting, guys. And the other thing I didn't actually show was the eras that we actually have as well. And they've done a great job with that. I might just go back to the game. But anyway, that's sort of where Field of Glory actually went through this progression as well, like of having no real campaigns other than just stringing battles together, and then moving into very, very basic campaigns, which worked okay. They weren't great, and then we finally end up with empires. But we're talking like a decade's worth of work and development to get to end up at empires and also kingdoms. So it's actually to get it to that level. So it's unrealistic to be even having that as a goal, I think, for Strategos. But certainly what they've done with Sengoku's Jidai and also Pike and Shot would be quite interesting in my opinion, because these were sort of cobbled together. They weren't fantastic the way that they did work, but it's. But yeah, it was. I do remember, when the campaign mode came out for. Well, certainly remember it for Sengoku Jidai, because that was actually more meaningful, I think, than Pike and Shot. So yeah, it must have come afterwards. I think they learnt some lessons from Pike and Shot campaigns and then applied them to the Sengoku Jidai campaigns, because they were okay. Like, in terms of giving meaning to the way that you played, and just getting that together. And it was a fairly fairly basic sort of structure that you would then sort of play around, which was actually pretty cool. Strategos Games is saying that will likely release after 1.0, but has a basic point-to-point map with tabletop-style roles for marching, fleet actions, sieges, and diplomacy, and the field battles are fought in real time. Yeah, that's absolutely, that'd be awesome. I'm not even at the first version of the game. I'm not even expecting that, because the actual, I'll show you the scope of the game, which also really excited me about what we sort of see in the actual game itself. I'll just load it back in again. But yeah, when I played it, it was sort of I get chills down my spine with certain games. Where I think, oh wow, this is so exciting. This is one of these games for me. This is, and I always try to think, okay, well, what's negative about it? And so for me, it was the campaign. So I'm glad that the devs have been able to sort of talk about the what's going on with the alt right mouse move. I might just test that actually before we go in. But if we go into the historical battle simulator here, also I should point out, and I do this in the video. The video is going to be coming out in, as I said before, in a couple of hours' time. But the manual is a manual that's in game, and it's actually pretty cool. You can just leave it open on an area that you want to have a look at. For example, as I scroll down this, I find that there's information at the bottom here. These here, I like to have this accessible, just as I was getting used to having the game. If I then close the manual and then reopen the manual again, it opens up on that particular area, which means that when I'm trying to figure out what's going on the battlefield, I can just very quickly see exactly what these little icons are, which is great. So and it's very accessible. Then you've actually got your points of advantage tables back in through here as well. Very much your tabletop sort of mechanics that then do come back and through. The thing that's really interesting about this, though, is the eras. And so if you have a look at this one through here, and so I don't know how many different what is it called, the orders of battle that they'll end up being for the actual game itself. But when you look at the actual eras that you then are playing in, so you're playing in from the Tullian, like the classical, from 600 odd BC through to 400 BC. Then you're talking about the Chameleon, the Hellenistic era, which then goes sort of essentially through the Alexander the Great. So you're sort of looking at the Greek, the rise of the Greeks there at 400 BC down to 275. And again, I don't know exactly what groups will be available. Polybian back in through here as well. It sort of starts to get the combination where Rome starts to try to get its ascendancy, in the early sort of phase of Rome. Although the Chameleon, you'd argue, would be at the back end there as well. So you're sort of looking at the leftovers of Alexander's empire. Then you've got the the high point of the Roman Republic with the Marian era, going from 105 BC to 25 BC. Like, so when the Roman legions became really quite professionalized in that region. And then you've got the Principate, like the imperial era, that goes from 25 BC, then fighting Gauls and sort of war bands and so on and so forth, out to 284 AD. So it's got a very, very broad range, which is really, really exciting as well. And so all we're playing when we're playing the in the era that we're playing. We're only playing in the Polybian era at this point in time. So we've got Polybian Rome. So the different orders of battle are very, very cool. And again, you can actually go and choose when you see these little drop downs. You've got like different types of units you can bring in for your forces. So you end up with there's a lot of replay value in the sense. Even though I would love to see randomization in the maps. That was one thing that would be very, very cool. Even if it was like portions of the map, like if there was, for example, like an area of the map, like that area there, for example. This is the actual battle map that you can play on with the rolling hills. But that area there is rough ground. And it would be cool if there was a few other little rough grounds, but there was a percentage chance they either appeared or not appeared when you actually played the game. Even something like that would actually make it interesting. But that one's always there, and these trees are always there. Again, it would this is where Field of Glory does actually do it. Their random maps are brilliant. It's a bit more difficult through here, and I didn't see heights in this one, I don't think, as well. So I'm not sure how that's going to be sort of modelled over time. But this is step one. And when we think about, I played the very, very original adaptation of Field of Glory 1, like way, way back. That's well over 20 years ago. And I used to enjoy that. And that was, when you think back about the progression between those very, very early games through to where we are now in Field of Glory, that's decades worth of development, that ends up sort of in that sense. And so, but this is step one. It's already really quite polished with what it's doing. So it's very, very exciting. It's like getting in on the ground floor of something that I hope really does sort of expand out and become something really quite special. So anyway, we've got those in through there. So that's actually, I found that one really exciting as well, just the different eras. The other thing that's interesting as well is you've got things like, for example, if you've got like if you wanted to play random battles, you can exclude the step armies from random. What this means is you essentially getting rid of the horse archer armies. And I love this as well. Like I'll be playing with this turned on like all the time. I hate the step armies in this sort of era, just because they're so difficult. You're just chasing them down the whole time, and so while they're sort of skirmishing on your sides. You can also exclude minor armies from random as well. But having that as an actual that's interesting to sort of see that. To be honest, that's not something you'd expect to sort of see for a game that's just hitting its demo right now. So that's actually really quite interesting as well. The exclude step armies from random. So that's for me, that will be on all the time because I really don't like step armies. So they're your horse archers essentially. And so there's a demo now. If you do want to test the game out for yourselves, and there's a lot of replay value in the demo. Just grab the demo, which is freely available right now. I don't know when the game will be releasing, but like when it will be hitting. I hope it's sort of, well, actually, I don't know. Some games you sort of really hope that it hits early access before going into full release. This game is pretty polished, even now. It's got a lot of polish to it. Certain games you really wish that they had have gone to early access before the release, but I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this one because the gameplay is really good fun anyway. Let's just start a battle again, and just get into it, and I'll just test that alt right click, and just see what happens there with the formations. Yes, there's a few different things you can do with the control and the alt key. But I do go through in a lot more depth. Let's grab the whole lot. Alt right click. No, that's not doing it. It was alt right click, wasn't it? Alt right click. Does it just... that one there? Okay, alt right click. If you can't drag it, so it's just got to be a click. And if I go control alt, yeah, so that's now going to hinder this one. So these are now hindered because of the cavalry trying to get through. They're moving a bit faster than these guys. These slow down now because the cavalry is trying to get through where that is. But yeah, there's different ways of playing. Anyway, we won't keep on playing this one. We'll just go back out again. But I'm really, as I said before, I really was, when I started playing it, it was like, wow, this is really, really cool. So Strategos games are saying I tend to use the walk run to prevent that the cav can and put reserve cavalry on walk temporarily. Oh, okay, yep, there we go. Alt plus single click warrior, yep. So yeah, I was dragging, and I guess I'm used to that with Total War, like the dragging the formation and keeping the formations going. So, you know, I guess again, it's early days with the game, and looking forward to seeing what it actually does bring. So I'll just go back and yeah, so I'll just read a few more of the comments that we actually had from back there. So we've got the wiser setting. I fell off the Paradox DLC wagon a while ago. Yep, I can't afford it. Yeah, well, it's just I just couldn't keep up with it. Oh, sorry, Gorex is saying, can you show us a zoomed-in unit? The graphics and Strategos don't look very impressive. Well, this is exactly the same argument that people have with Field of Glory. The idea is not to make it look real. It's to make it look like a tabletop game because it's using tabletop mechanics. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll open up both games and show you sort of the difference. There it is down the bottom here. And there's another game, actually, another demo available as well that I'm allowed to talk about now, which I do want to mention today. So if I go into this one here and just go and start the battle, I'm just going to pop my air conditioner on. Be right back. Yeah, I think this will be a common argument about the game. So if I go into the actual into the units themselves, if we have a good look at them, sometimes I've got to say that the keyboard, like it becomes a little. It's good, like being able to sort of maneuver the camera, but some of the finer controls do get a little bit. You can get a bit lost with them. So if I just sort of keep them down through here, for example. So we're looking very much like, so that's actually sort of like a one of their units at the, like this is what the units look like at this sort of stage. So they're very low poly the way that they work, and they look more tabletop-y the way that they sort of structured. Now I've got the grass turned on, and I've got a few other things turned on as well for the graphics. But they are just extremely low poly. The thing I was impressed with, which Total War didn't introduce this for quite some time, was that the different stacks will often have different models in amongst them. Roman legions probably not so much, but let's go because they'll be sort of fairly consistent. Let's just go back and start the game, and I'll show you what I mean. If we go and have a look at the other side, their forces will be a little bit more all over the place. So you see how we're getting different units in through here, different looks, different helmets. Again, this becomes a little bit difficult to sort of see what's going on. So we've got like different collections in this side. These guys here are all stock standard, but with different shields on what they're doing. The different, it's pretty cool actually. I've got to say overall. I don't mind the graphics at all. Like that doesn't bother me even slightly, but I know it will for some people. These guys are all fairly consistent with what they're doing. What about the cavalry? They've got some different helmets back and through there. Some of the other forces that you do end up getting, like if you actually get a group with like a warband, like a Celtic warband, you're going to end up with a whole range of different types of looks and equipment that they're going to actually have. So yeah, so that's the actual group there. I'll just move back up a little bit. But I really don't mind the look at all. Like it's because it looks like they're painted tabletop figures. And Field of Glory does exactly the same thing. And that also, people found that difficult to get their head around. But if you consider it to be a tabletop game experience rather than a real war game type thing, again, I've got no issue with that at all personally. But I know it will be an issue for some people. Just the overall sort of look of the units. So I'll just go and have a quick look and see if there was any other comments about that one. So Ledrin is saying, yeah, mate, just turned in. What game is this one? This is Strategos. It's just a demo at this stage, so anyone can get hold of it. And I would recommend that you get it because it was a game that I often don't play demos, and I never usually spend much time with demos. But this, as I said before, this for me feels like this is the start of something really quite special. And it's sort of like it's sort of like this is going to be step one of what I hope will be something great leading into the future. You can see there the different helmets on this particular group. The legions will probably not really be changed much because they'll have sort of stock standard stuff. But yeah, again, if I know that some people won't like the idea that they look like they're tabletop figures, but I don't know. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't really worry about that at all with what's actually going on. So it's just for me it looks really, really cool. So they're still now all moving in. These are they've just moved out of that rough terrain. There goes another runner out to the other figures. It's anyway. I could just get lost in this game. To be honest, I really when I first downloaded it, I wasn't like I really am. I don't download demos hardly ever, and this was going to be one of these ones where I thought, oh look, I'll give it a go because it looks interesting, and I'm so glad I did. I think the demo was a couple of gigabytes, so it wasn't massively big, but it's still very, very good. Anyway, let's get out of there. So we'll let's go back to the main menu. But impressive, it's an impressive game. So I do a fairly deep dive into the mechanics in that video coming up. So I didn't want to spend too much time with it today. Okay, so we'll just keep on sort of skipping through. Have to run, but thanks for streaming Strategos, says Strategos Games. Yeah, not a problem. Thank you for coming in and actually answering some of the questions. That's extremely helpful. So Strategos Games is saying if it helps, you can scroll zoom all the way in, then rotate, tilt the camera. It will rotate in place for a closer view. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I was sort of just trying to get down low and then maneuver. Anyway, let's keep on going. So Serenity's saying, I have to go, can you put me in the giveaway? I'll try to remember, but I can't promise. My memory is pretty bad. So I'll try to remember though. And it's up to you to then, have a look at the end and see if you did win. So, so Lewis is saying an interesting game, and I like the visual. There'll be a lot of people that won't, just because it doesn't have the realism. But then actually, I won't open up Field of Glory, but Field of Glory's got this. Actually, I will. I haven't opened up the old Field of Glory for a long period of time. So Field of Glory 2 in through here. Let's have a quick look and see the difference. So Darren Burnett saying, yeah, he finally caught you live. I love your stuff. Well, at the back end, like if people ask me to put them in now, I'll forget. So you've got to be here at the time when we start to then sort of get the giveaways going, and you have to then type in win at that time to be able to then be in the running. So that's sort of the way it does work. All right, so we've got so you've got campaigns in through here. These are multi-battle campaigns, and all these are just strings of battles. And this is sort of, I hope that it's more than this. So these 3rd century crises, etc. If I go and launch one of these, I'll just start it. So I never play these, to be honest. I mean, not with empires. So this one here is literally, it's just going to be going from battle to battle. Just go and create this one. And so it's just a series of like it was better than nothing, but this is very, very, very weak campaign sort of aspect to it. And I'll just get started. So you can just see the graphics, the difference in the graphics there. So Lewis is saying that Field of Glory is a game that I like, but I'm very bad at playing it. Yeah, it's sort of, and look, to be honest, Strategos is not an easy game. Like there's, it's actually quite difficult. So we're playing as Romans in through here again as well. Just go and get rid of that one. So if I'll just accept that force group at this point in time. And if we go and have a look at these ones, Shift 3 will then sort of be the one that we then have a bit of a look at through here. So just Shift 3, I can then sort of zoom in a little bit. And so we're seeing, again, very, very tabletop looking units, very similar to Strategos. So they've got the same sort of tabletop look. The thing with what they did with Field of Glory, maybe not this version, but with the medieval version, was actually made the ground look like it had been painted, so that it was actually looks like more like a tabletop, which I thought was a good idea to get away with these sort of tabletop looking units in through there. So just go Shift 3 again. But that's so the overall look of Field of Glory is also very much in that sort of vein. But these are random maps, and I hope that that's something that's focused on for Strategos to then end up with random maps rather than just having pre-built maps. For me, that's pretty big. So I'm hoping that would be part of their development. Anyway, let's get out of there. We'll just quit out of the game there. So, okay, so where did we get up to? I think we're caught up. Did you already play Castlecraft? Yes, I did. Sorry, Sharkbait. So that one's already been played. Field of Glory is a game that I like, but I'm very... Yeah, you already did that comment through there. Okay, so what we'll do now is... so Michael's saying, "Oh, we're only in ChatTactic episode. That's for the year, for 2025." And I may have skipped or missed like one or two numbers. Like I may have used the same number twice. I'm pretty bad at managing that one. I don't have a plan when I start these things. The next thing we want to look at is another demo. Every Day We Fight. So this is actually a game that is, again, I might just start off in the back in through here. Every Day We Fight. This one here. I'll just show you this one briefly. I was thinking of doing a video on this one, but I'm not sure yet. This is a Hooded Horse game, and Signal Space Labs. I think that this is actually a content creator has put this game together. I think the release date is the 10th of July. I'll probably cover it more then, but I thought I'd actually just show a little bit of this particular demo. It looks interesting. It's got some interesting mechanics to it. It's sort of, this is Caught in a Time Loop. Your band of resistance fighters is humanity's last hope. Real-time exploration meets turn-based tactics and roguelike strategy as you learn new abilities. I believe that it's sort of like the first part of it, I'm still in the middle of the tutorial, which I will actually open this one up, where you sort of come back through. I'll just see if it's got like a list of the different mechanics. Take a variety of missions. You explore the multiple districts in your war-torn city. So you do have a choice about where you go, but I don't think there's much randomization in that, I don't think, and that's something I haven't got to yet. Take on rift leaders, no time for rest, so it's unforgiving. Again, it sort of encourages save scumming within its own mechanics. Death is only the beginning, yep, so blah blah blah. Anyway, let's open this one up and have a bit of a look. Again, I like the feel of it. Usually not my type of game, but a little bit like Castlecraft, I guess, in that sort of sense. Yeah, Christopher Odd, or some similar odd name. Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're right. Me, myself, and I. So so I think that he is the is behind it. If we do actually have a credits, I might just see if I can see if he is in there. But I think he was involved in this. The graphics are okay. They're not world beating, but it certainly does okay with what it's trying to do. So you basically are looking after these three units. So it's got a bit of a Commando sort of style feel to it as well, but it's also very much like Phoenix Point. So if you've played Phoenix Point, this is Phoenix Point, but with a with a very, very different sort of look to it. So we've got an alien invasion. Okay, Michael's saying, yeah, I think he got inspired from all the XCOM he's been playing. yeah, so it's but Phoenix Point really is like a lot of the actual combat mechanics are Phoenix Point mechanics.
Suddenly, almost everyone was frozen.
Anyway, let's just press escape and just get rid of the cutscene if we can.
Where they were.
Can we? Yep, there we go. Credits. Let's have a look and see. Okay, that's the voice acting. There he is, executive producer. Yeah, so he's in there. Just skip that one. So if I just go back in, I'll just load in the game that I've been just playing. I'm just playing the prologue at the moment, and doing a bad job of it, to be honest. So I'll just go and continue. So it sort of steps you through, the prologue sort of steps you through different mechanics. So it's just loading in. It takes a little while to load in because I don't have an SSD yet. I will try to get one. Load in. It's taking a long time. But it's yeah, again, this is sort of like one of these games where different things. It does have some interesting mechanics to it, which I quite like. It's not overwhelming the way it does play out. It's sort of a bit of a combination between slow-mo, real-time, and turn-based. So you've got like it's as I said before. Sometimes you do need to be responsive to in the slow-mo phase a little bit, but not overly. It feels like it's got a good balance of everything, to be honest. So, Michael's saying what we need to put up is a donation for an SSD, and I'm sure you'll get one at some point. I will get one. Don't worry. I'll grab one. Thumbs up for an SSD, says Nedland. Yes, I know it's been bad. I keep on meaning to go and grab one. So anyway, this is where this is actually a little area that we've got. We've got to sort of make our way across. I think, can I get down? Yeah, so I can sort of, I've forgotten, it's been a few days since I've played it. If I right click, I can then sort of go down to the different units. That's the team that we've got. So I can sort of just move through. Now, how do we get up there? Sneak, Control L. Oh, that's left control. This is something that annoys me. It's actually, so control will sneak. See how it's got Control L. I keep on thinking it's Control L, and I wish it just said CTRL or something like that, rather than in that way around. I don't know why it's done that way, which is annoying. And just C. So what do we need to do here? We need to split up, so I can sort of now just move her off on her own. Don't know how we get past this. Not sure. Yeah, this is. Don't know how we're supposed to get up that. That's the objective, I'm pretty sure. Or is it this way? Oh, it's this way. All right, we'll move this way in. Actually, I'll get everyone. I'll just go C again. Actually, that's all okay. Yeah, I'll just keep on sneaking our way through. These are sort of like remnants of forces that were there before. So we need to move over. Come on, game. It's loading more assets in. So these were frozen people. I'll just do a little bit of it. We won't play for too long. As I said, it's not a game I'm going to do a video on, but I did want to sort of show it. If you are interested, it's going to be around.
You're one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy guys, aren't you?
Those knock tinfoil hats.
So I'll just jump
Didn't
off.
freeze me, did it?
Were you wearing one when the dome went up?
Well, no. I could have been.
So sneak our way through. So So when we come into the labs, this is sort of like going to be where the combat is. I'll just play this little bit of combat out and we can sort of see what's going on.
But inside, who knows?
We better take these ones out so they don't follow us inside.
You know, gas canisters don't only
Is that
work
loud
on
enough
walls.
for you guys?
Just saying.
Gotta say, Leo, sometimes you're not a complete tool.
Hello, Riff! Leave the left side to me.
Now this is the like planning an Overwatch. So activate Overwatch mode and press the right mouse button to place the cone. So so we can do that with so Leo is who we have to then start off with. This one, Leo is sort of like more your almost like the sniper, and so we need to have an Overwatch down this way. So I'm just going to go and click on the Overwatch, and then I just need to position that. Did it say left button or right mouse button? Does it tell us there? No. I'm assuming it's going to have to be left mouse button. No, must be right.
Keep it a watch.
Oh, there we go. No, left. It was left, but I just had to do it where the tutorial was telling me to do it. So the cost of Overwatch, placing an Overwatch cone cost base. This is sort of like tutorial stuff still.
Okay, now let's wait and see what they do.
So we've got end turn. That's all we can actually do at this point in time. So we'll just end our turn here. So we're going to just see. We're seeing what Overwatch does do. Now I think I'm going to have to react a little bit faster when he's actually coming through. So engineer's now moving through, and Overwatch. If I trigger it, so I do have the option now to trigger it. So that, again, it's sort of like turn-based with pause. But then we go into slow-mo, and now I've got to now shoot at him as he's coming through. So before he can actually duck down, let's go and see if we can get some shots in.
Got one in sight.
Ah, damn it, I screwed up. I do that a lot. I'm really bad at these sort of games. I right-click, and then that takes me out of where I'm supposed to be going. So I've actually screwed that one up. So these guys are now sort of, these aliens are now moving in. So he's now got a trigger, so I just go F. I won't right click this time. So I'm going to stay where I am, I think. I don't want to go there. Sure, I will. Why can't I do that? I've forgotten how to play the game.
Move me, move! Shit. Careful, Dylan. Fuck's sake.
Let's clear them out of the lot. Let's not have any more
I think I was
surprises.
supposed to run across there. Okay, so Dylan can get to there. I'll take that. And then he has a shot. So I now have a shot at this one here. So this is very much again like Phoenix Point. So it takes action points to then have the shot. So I've got. I'll just go and do that now. I can sort of try to aim for the head, but I'll just. That's enough.
You had it coming.
So shotgun got rid of that one. That was good. And we've got one way back over there. I can still sort of move back. And so I'm actually happy enough with what he's doing now. So I'll just go and, is it tab? I forget if it is. Yeah, tab with Leo. I can just right click. And so we do actually have a shot there at the engineer. So I can sort of just get his head. But I should have actually got him at the other time. So he's down. But that should have been the Overwatch. So we've got 3 headshots in through that side. And I'll just go and press tab again. I don't think I can do it. Can I do Overwatch?
Watch it for movement.
Yeah, okay, we can still do Overwatch there. And then Vivian, if we just go and tab across to Vivian. So she also, yeah, it's probably going to be better What should we do with her? She's got like a machine gun type thing. Do you know she's got the sniper rifle? So there's a Guardian way back over there. Oh yes, no, she's got the sniper. We need to reload. That one has just repositioned. So you can see the slow-mo kicking in. And she doesn't have any more actions. We can't do Overwatch. But I can just move her into that position there. Alright, we'll end our turn here. Just go and enter. Okay, so I won't right-click this time.
What an idiot!
God, I'm useless. I'm terrible at these games. Another Guardian coming.
Damn it!
Now, I don't need him to move anywhere else. He's actually okay. I'm just going to ignore that one. Because we're under good cover there. Another engineer coming. Right now, we've got him. Well, that was silly on my part. I thought I could actually right-click and get him.
That's for the ones we love.
Alright, so that one's down. And so he's actually in position. Okay, so tab across. Just see him there. Oops, just tab across again. Is that him?
We're gonna join the party.
And we don't need to reload there just yet, but I think I will do it anyway. Just start to get him to reload. And can't do any more there. Tab across. Now she can get a shot there, so I'll just move her across. Go for the headshot. There we are.
You deserve that.
Alright, so I unfortunately sort of now damaged my my other guy there a little bit. We'll just go and do another reload. And just move back out. Let's move her into that position. I'll just go next turn. I'm not sure what's coming. It looks like there's more on the way. Yeah, I'll just leave them where they are. We'll just go back across to Dylan. Does he need to reload? Yeah, I will actually reload if I can. No, I can't actually do it. He's out of action points. So we'll just go and enter.
What is that thing?
You think you'll me up here? Wow.
What, son?
So this is the prelude, part of the prelude to it.
Are we alive? I swear I just got killed.
I mean, I guess I'm alive because everything hurts.
That weird rifter shows up and mocks us. Then boom!
Yeah. When the hell did they learn English? And why did it say again?
Also, we're not in the parking lot anymore. And it's a bright sunny day.
So I'll just turn the volume up.
We'll figure it out. Right now, we gotta get to the lab and rescue Dr. Faber, right?
And find us some more guns. We seem to have misplaced ours.
Are you wounded again, Dylan? How'd you get hurt?
We all got killed. Remember? Why aren't you hurt?
Yeah, but
Let's
the exact same wound?
can we get out of this? Just want to quit out of this one now. So that's the game. I'll just can I get out of this? Come on, escape. There we are. Quit the game. All right. So I'm still just working my way through the prologue, but that's also a game that is coming out on demo. So you've got like a demo of that one. Coming in July is going to be the release date. Actually, there is. Sorry, it must be a closed demo. I thought it was a demo for everyone, but it mustn't be. So I think I've just allowed to show a little bit of what's going to be coming with that one. So if you like those sort of games, there's that one as well. Anyway, let's keep on going through everything else that we have. What did we get up to? You've got the thumbs up for the SSDs. Matthew's saying more thumbs up for the channel. Thank you. Chris is saying Zephon. Yeah, so let's talk about Zephon. Takes ages on a mechanical hard drive. So much that I moved to my SSD, it loads in seconds. Wow. Okay. Look, I've got to do it. I'll do it this week. I'll bite the bullet. I've just got to just make sure my computer can. I'm sure it could be able to load it in. What GPU you got? I've got a AMD. I forget what the type actually is. So I know that there is also a button to hold your breath to zoom in a little. Yeah, there is. So there's different things you can do in the game as well. So Simon Baker is saying, what game is this one? This is Every Day We Fight, is what it's going to be called. So coming out in July. So really, they're just doing a little, like their marketing push, I guess, at this stage is just to sort of show what the game has got. So I just wanted to, I'm not going to do a video on it, but I thought I'd just show what the game is. Eventually I'll play it, but it's been a few days since I actually played the game, so I was a bit rusty there. My apologies, I play those games very, very poorly. Michael's saying also, I think each shot taken after the first one only chews up half the action points, so worth doing a burst. There we are. Eddie Ballgame saying, late for the stream. Daz, your recent Shadow Empire video was superb, thank you. Thanks for that. Yeah, I'm enjoying playing Shadow Empire again. It's been a little while since I've actually played that game. Let's talk about Zephon. I won't load it in because, as is mentioned, without the SSD, it takes forever to actually load it in. So Zephon has, we've been playing the new Zephon Twisted and Hollow DLC, and sort of how that one sort of does work. It's what it does do is, let's just go through. It's got positive reviews, 94%. To be honest, I find that pretty high. And I wouldn't rate it 94% myself. I'd rate it lower than that because I don't think it adds enough difference to the game. I'll go through what it does actually add in. This is the one that does have. So we've got a new Twisted Mother is sort of like a new way of playing the game, and also we've got the Hollow Warlord, which is the way that we're actually playing it. So there's a few mechanics in there. Now these are not mind-blowing mechanics. Like they don't really add in, like it's more just nuance to how you play with the existing units, which is why whenever they bring out a DLC for Gladius, I'm very, very interested because we're getting full immersion in something else. But whereas the bringing in a couple of ways of playing it through the actual hero type system, in this case the Hollow Warlord and the Twisted Mother, is great. Like to have it, but it's not really adding a lot of content to the game, if you know what I mean. It does have new units that have come in. Actually, sorry, I'll take that back. I didn't realise there was this many units that had come in. This is across the board, by the way. So sharpshooters, again, these are added to the full game. So it's a bit different than Gladius, where you've got the where each faction has got its own set of units. In this case, they're shared across like all the different the humans, or the voice, or the cyber. So there's a few more extra Tier 1 and Tier 2 units. The Scramblers have been fun. I've enjoyed playing with those. I haven't tried the Sharpshooters yet, so we haven't sort of really got to those. But there's a bit of everything that sort of is coming back in through this one now with the different ways of playing the game. The Wastelander, Chiefess, a large mechanical transport. Yeah, we've actually come across one of those already. New operations, so we've got different operations you can then go and do. So enriched alloys, anyway, that's all through those. New items, suicide drones, stolen flesh, and ICAR fluid detective. I haven't actually tried those at all. New outposts, so some different ways of having different things. Certainly the Temple of Kralar, we've sort of seen that one through there as well, providing algae. New quests, new mutators. The mutators are okay. New music back and through there as well. For me, it's sort of like it's a nice to have, but it's not mind blowing. So even though it's rated at 94% in through there, I wonder if anyone's written anything negative about it, because I would rate it, for me personally, I'd be rating it at around about 80%. Like in the way I'd be sort of thinking of what it should actually be. Solid DLC that adds a sprinkle of new content across the board. That's what it is. It's a sprinkle of new content. If you enjoy the base game and want more, then this DLC is a solid buy. The cyber and human units are all fantastic and add a lot of alternative playstyles that can provide a much needed shake-up for the early game. The voice units are underwhelming, but absolutely gorgeous models. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So we've got read more. What else is there? Speaking of new units, the Reavers get a war rig. It's awesome. That's the Chiefess. As for the new commanders, they're both interesting. The human warlord gives you the option to play hyper-aggressive and be rewarded for doing so, while the Twisted Mother has this obvious boons and power spikes, but instead has a lot of trickery. So yeah, again, it's nice to have, which is why I would say an 80%. More content for already a good game, exactly what I wanted, which is, I think, where people will get the DLC, because it just expands on what's already there. My favourite game in the past few years, a no-brainer to get the DLC. Just looking for anything that's negative, actually. See if anyone does have anything negative to say. Here we go. Devs are obsessed with waifu leaders. I don't recommend. This game's still too woke. That's not really... I don't know what... Like, that's... yeah, anyway, that's not really a helpful negative comment, unfortunately. It's sort of... like, it's... I don't see that, to be honest. I don't see that one at all. But that's the only negative I can sort of see there. Again, it's for me. It's not as mind-blowingly great as as some other DLCs are. And when I think of the Gladius DLCs, I like most of them a lot, and they really do add very, very different content in. So comparing this to the Gladius DLCs, yeah, it is adding stuff in. I don't know. I guess the game is more a mix of different things anyway than Gladius. Gladius is very pure in the Warhammer factions that are sort of then split up, whereas in this one, there is a big mix of what you end up getting, which I think for me actually, I think I prefer the Gladius approach in that aspect of the game. But this game adds so much more than what Gladius does. Like, I would love to see a Gladius 2 based around a lot of the mechanics that are introduced into Zephon. Like Zephon with the diplomacy is functional in Zephon. It's not great, but it certainly does the job. Whereas Gladius has got no diplomacy. You can build roads in Zephon, which you can't build in Gladius, and that's actually a problem. Gladius had that problem like right from the very, very start. There was ways possibly around that one, but yeah, being able to build your own roads now is actually very, very cool. There's a whole lot of things like that Zephon does much better and in a much more polished way than playing it with the than playing Gladius. So Gladius itself, I love Gladius, but Zephon certainly does take it to the next level. Where do we get to? Okay, so we're just trying to figure out where I got to. Sorry with the last one. Yep, so Gary Oak saying I need something more mind-blowing for Zephon. Yep, so, and then Michael Sensen saying, yeah, make the strategy games like CRPGs, 30 plus classes and factions before any DLCs. I'm not sure what you mean really by that one. Sorry, Michael. Arbans is saying, yes, it is a woke version of GIS. I don't know what GIS is either. The Nuclear Manx is saying, do you collect the 40k army? No, I don't. Although Skulls is coming up again fairly soon. Like, that's coming up this month, I think, either this month or next month. So I've received an email from the people who organise Warhammer Skulls. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get like another pack. Like last year, they gave me a very, very nice looking pack. In fact, it's up on my shelf, which was full of little goodies and so on and so forth. So there was some army aspects of the 40k armies in that particular pack. So I'd be interested to see if I end up getting another pack again. which should be great. So Gary Oakes saying diplomacy and events don't do anything for me. Everything else seems more polished, but also nothing new compared to Gladius. Yeah, it's sort of the events I don't particularly like. To be honest, I don't like playing with events on. I think I've got them turned off in Zephon. So yeah, in diplomacy, as you say, I don't need it as well. I'm sort of with you there, Gary. But it does have the roads for me are big. I do like that. So Invictus saying hi all, so hi back. And the Nuclear Manx is saying it's very cool. Yeah, it's a great little box actually that they provided me. It's sort of I think it's empty now. I think I've gotten rid of all the stuff that was in there. But it was pretty cool. There was a whole lot of different games. I tried a few. Like actually, one of the games that I did actually end up playing, which I loved playing it, which is again is not my type of game, is where did I put it? So see if I can find it in here somewhere. It was the game I enjoyed so much I was actually going to do a video on it. Maybe it's still in here somewhere. Yeah, bolt gun. Warhammer 40,000 bolt gun. I was so surprised with this game. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll show you now because this is the most fun game I got from that pack essentially, and it's really not my type of game. But if you haven't seen it, it's just full on carnage. I don't even know where I am. To be honest, it's been a long time since I played it, but I did enjoy it. I don't know what Horde mode is. I'll just start so you've got different chapters and through here. Off target. Yeah, I'll just confirm whatever the first one actually is. And I'll just go low because I'm really bad at these sort of games. Just go confirm. I'll just turn the... Oh no, keep the volume up.
Nothing once touched by the hand of chaos.
Let's keep on getting into it. Oh, it looks like I'm already halfway through something in here. I don't know what that is. But it's just it's like a real old sort of... almost like a Doom-esque type game, but it's done very, very well with sort of like really low quality pixel art. Just grab these different bits and pieces. It actually looks like it is the start of something new. Guns. Go this way. Got a chain sword here. Pick up anything else? I think that's all I've got is the chain sword. Anyway, I won't play too much of it because it's been a while since I played it, but when I started playing it I couldn't stop. I just absolutely loved it. Let's see if I can find anything else over this way. It's health by the looks over in through there. They've just done a nice job of it, and it was such a surprise packet. And as I said before, not my type of game usually. Oh, am I allowed through there? Maybe I'm not allowed through there. Oh, I've got to go up the top here. Yes, I'm going to open that up. Need to activate. Just a little bit of health, nothing too bad. It's real old school. it does. Anyway, I won't keep on playing. But once I start playing this, I'm missing a key, so I've got to find a key somewhere. Anyway, that's Bolt Gun. It's a game I did enjoy. Such a, as I said before, such a surprise packet for me, because it's not my sort of type of game, but I really did get quite a kick out of playing that one. Yeah, Doom 40,000, yes. So it's Warhammer's version of CNC Renegade. Bloodmine's saying it's a good game, but beware, it's way more Doom 2016 than a true old school shooter. And there's corridors and arenas. A little off topic, but I think you may find the last spell worth a look. Actually, we had a look at that a few weeks ago, I think. I think there may be an option to change graphics from low poly to high detail. Oh, really? Okay. So ZXM is saying, ha ha ha, Daz plays Doom. I used to play that all the time, actually, Doom. All the time. I was actually pretty good at it back in the day when Doom first came out. Like, that was a long time ago now, of course. That's 30-odd years. So, but no, Doom was... I loved Doom. I used to, mod it and do all sorts of stuff. I used to really enjoy it. Pigmax saying, it's unfair to call it boomer shooters. At the time, it was the peak graphics and action. Richard Phillips saying, I've heard people that are into that type of game raving about it, so you've made a good choice. It really was. It was sort of one of those games when you start talking to people who even just touch those sorts of games. It's sort of one of those games that you don't even know how much it's worth. I think it was pretty cheap. But that was for me the biggest surprise packet out of that whole pack that I ended up getting was Bolt Gun. As I said, I got it a year ago, but I sort of remember playing it over the course of like a holiday or something like that, where I just played it solidly for a really long time. I'll just have a quick look and see Bolt Gun through here. Got cap lock on? Yeah, I do. Oh no, it's actually pretty expensive. What's it rate? 91%, 90%. Yeah, it's worth it. It's really quite good. Fairly expensive though for what it is, to be honest. I didn't think that would be that expensive. Anyway, that was for me a real surprise packet from that one there. Actually, yeah. So anyway, how are we going for time? I'll just have a quick look and see. So we've been going for nearly 2 hours, so I think we'd better start to wind up. What we'll do is we'll just have a quick look and see if there's anything else in my Steam area. I had a quick look before to see if there was anything new. There's Biogenesis, but I'll just go back across. And again, I'm out of the loop too much with Stellaris to really sort of do much with it. It's only mixed anyway, so that's interesting. Let's go to our library and let's go back to the top, back to the front. So having a look to see if there's anything new that had come out. We covered the remaster update for Rule the Waves 3 last week. A lot of the stuff we covered. Escape the Mad Empire we covered a couple of weeks ago. Xenonauts 2, we've got different hot fixes coming. I'll have to play that again. Actually, that's going to be a game that I do want to do an extended play, like how I've been sort of covering, series of games. So maybe when I finish either Zephon or one of the others, even Age of Wonders, I'll then sort of flick across into playing more Xenonauts. That's a perfect game for Daz Demption as well, where people can actually name the different characters. It's an awesome game, Xenox 2. I know that whenever you talk about Xenox 2, there's often comments about people saying, I don't want to play it until it's complete. Play it. It's really, really good. It's almost feature complete now, like in terms of everything that's actually in there. They've done a great job as well of really making the game. They haven't tried to follow the roadmap religiously. What they've done is they've tried to go across and fix or improve things that players want them to be focusing on. And I really like that they've taken that approach. 2 years for Age of Wonders 4. Wow, that's a long time. So that's actually that's a happy birthday, Age of Wonders 4. Back in through there. So Michael's saying yes. So perfect Daz Demption game. It really is. It really is. But you have to be on Twitch when I play those to be able to name the characters. I can't really do that easily with YouTube, unfortunately. Shadow Empire Republica. We covered that one last week. Archmage Rises. I forget what that is. I can't remember that one. But there's Field Glory Kingdoms. There's one of my videos that's been put out by Slytherin. That was back last month. Update. So the meat cage. So the Quasimorph. I enjoy. There's still more. I really, really want the Quasimorph to focus on the trading aspect and make that so much. If they could make that simpler, that would be good. Twist and Hollow. We've covered that one. Gal Civ 4, The Hidden Hand. This is actually this is actually just going through another journal entry for that one. Umbra Brigade 2 out now, that's old news. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, they've had a big update. I think we covered that as well a week or two back. The Tactics update, we've covered that. I'm still playing that one every week, so really thoroughly enjoying that, I've got to say. Escape the Mad Empire we've covered, and Field of Glory Kingdoms coming out on May the 15th, so that's actually very, very close now. I'll be doing a lot of Field of Glory stuff when this releases, so look out for some of these Field of Glory Kingdoms videos. There'll be a lot of them. Okay, welcome to season 60 of Marbles. We'll be playing that one in just a minute. Dev Diary. Now, the other thing I've actually just loaded in was Bonaparte. Now, I wasn't... the key was just given to me by the developer literally before I actually came in here. So I've just loaded it in just before I started the stream. So when I was setting up for the stream, I was loading it in. This one's an interesting one. And this is a game that... Let's have a look and see. Actually, I'll do it from the other one. It's coming out on the 21st of May. And I wasn't going to take it up, but then I thought, because when I first, actually I'll just stop this one, and we'll come back to this one in here, because I can zoom in on the in here a little bit, so you can sort of see a little bit bigger Bonaparte. So the weird thing about this is, and if I go and show it, well, if you start to have a bit of a look, I'll just skip past all these things. And we'll just have a bit of a look to see what we've actually got through here. This looks really exciting with the way that you've then got sort of like the different regions sort of taking over. So the actual so the campaign map looks very, very cool with sort of like major regions, sub regions as well. Actually, that'd be really cool for Strategos to use something like that for their campaign maps, where you get advantages by holding regions. Actually, that would be a really cool thing. It would be fairly simple to introduce in the grand scheme of things, but still actually give more meaning to what things are doing. Anyway, that's the mode in through there, which is so this is the campaign mode, which I thought, yep, that looks really cool. So when I was looking at the game, I thought, yeah, that looks really, really good. And so you've then got sort of almost like a Japanese role play aspect to different sorts of things, which again I don't like it, but I don't mind it. And then I was looking at the different characters, thinking, yeah, this looks pretty cool. Moving different forces in, so you've got tactical combat in the way that it sort of works there as well. So with different abilities, so I'm thinking, yeah, that looks great as well. It looks like the combat is very much just sort of like advanced tactics type, sorry, not advanced tactics, advanced wars type style by the looks of things, making through this other side, so I'm not sure exactly how that one does work. But then we started getting these weird things happening. We had these different commandants which are sort of attacking each other, but then yeah, we've got that one through there. I'll just see if we can go. I saw something that looked very, very unusual, which sort of almost stopped me from bothering with it. Yeah, these are robots. So you've got these really cool little Napoleonic figurines, but you've also then got the robots as well. So you've sort of got the best of everything, or you've got everything in the actual thing. And I did have a look, and I've got no idea what this is like. I'm allowed to play it as of right now, and I thought I'd actually even start it up so you guys can sort of see it a little bit. This is the video. I'll just turn that off just in case the sound isn't good. Yeah, so they're now doing flanking attacks. It looks like there's so much good stuff in it. I don't know why they needed to put robots in it. I don't know. It's very... There it is. There's a robot. So I don't understand it. There's more robots. Sorry, you probably can't even see it all that clearly, but it's there's more robots there. So ignite the revolution, yeah, blah blah blah. So anyway, that was I was going to play a bit of that today and just sort of at least open it up to see what it's like. So we'll maybe let's have a look at it and see what we can see. So and Victor's saying, why the hell did they put in damn robots? I've got no idea at all. Let's just try a new game, just see what it's got. Okay, the name was, yeah, so you either go male or female. I don't know what this is going to be like at all. It looked interesting. Oh God, sorry, didn't want to get caught up in all this sort of stuff. Yeah, here we go. Here's the robots. When encountered the Colossi in training, their power is unlike anything we've wielded. I wonder if we can turn them off. I think we have to look at them. I'll just skip past all this stuff. Actually, I can skip it there. You would deploy the Colossi. Skip all this stuff as well. Yeah, so I've got no idea what this thing actually is. Select the unit you control, and then move the select unit by right-clicking on any vacant. Is that them there? It's pretty basic. Sort of flanking attack. Do too much. Just skip past all these. It's very, very basic actually. Yeah, even the graphics are just sort of sprite type graphics. Yeah, I won't keep on playing, but that's I thought I'd just show that as well, just as something a bit fun. Can't do anything else there. All right. Anyway, we'll end the turn, see what else comes. Second, is it confirm? Oh, you got to confirm. It's interesting, these aren't 3D; they're just sprite graphics. Anyway, let's not play this one. We'll just go and quit the game. But I thought I'd just show it. I'm not really planning on doing much unless the game really grabs me. But so I'll probably play that one a little bit. But I don't know. Like the robots, certainly, I find that unusual. I don't know sort of where that all fits in. Let's continue on. So Adrian's laughing, yes, and so hidden commercial for WD-40. Yeah. So Pigmax saying a bit of Arcanium of Steamworks and Magic Obscura style added to a Napoleon strategy game. I've got no idea. Like it's sort of, I mean, steampunk sort of comes from that era, but you don't then tie it with history. It's not to that extent, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of an unusual one. Yes, Cygnus saying that is a common complaint about Napoleonic games. Not enough robots. It's really quite funny. Matthew Logan saying, have you played Star Control 2, the Urkon Masters? Again, I think that's an old game, and I think I have, but I can't really remember it, to be honest. So anyway, that's unusual. That's Bonaparte, which is just coming out. In fact, if we have a look, when does that one come out? I've closed everything off, of course. Just go back to open up this one and go back into Steam. Steam powered. Just go back into the live. Should be everything going. Yep, that's good. All right, so we'll start to get ready now for the actual giveaway. But I'll just have a quick look at Bonaparte. Okay, a mechanized revolution. Yeah, so we don't have any. There's no reviews here, of course. So coming soon to early access. Yeah, it's unusual, but it's sort of some of it looks like it's interesting. So I don't know. It's going to be a. I like what I saw with the with this campaign map. To be honest, it does look interesting. Even the basic combat, I didn't have a real big problem with that either. Just the way that was sort of done. It's but if we go to Community Hub, did people mention it? Okay, so I'm saying combat is bland. I can see that why people would say that one. The game which listed, then I saw giant robots. Seriously, why ruining the potential by adding this crap to a historical-ish game? Don't know why they've done it actually. It's already engaging in alternate history with the player shaping the revolution. We found ourselves wanting to explore what could have been done in a different way. We've grounded the underlying technology in an actual theory of combustion known as phlogiston theory to make the existence of mechs in a game more believable. However, other than Colossi and phlogiston, the rest of the game, the historical figures is actually quite... I don't know. I don't think it's sort of... I don't know. I don't think you can't butter the bread on both sides, or you shouldn't butter the bread on both sides. It's either embrace the steampunk aspect or embrace the historical aspect, but not both. Yeah, it's sort of funny. I find that funny. Anyway, that's all cool. It's I agree with Unleashed. I just played about an hour and only at first glance impression. Okay, so that's the game's looking simple, but these mechs are ruining the atmosphere, in my opinion. I do not want to play French Revolution with mechs. Yeah, that's also, I've got to say, probably sort of where I'm sitting as well with the actual game as well. Anyway, that's where it is. It'll be interesting to sort of see whether that's any good. Let's now we've got we'll start with Nightbot. Hopefully this will work this time. We'll do a give away two. What should I give away? I'll just go into my list of games. Sharky Mouth gave me a whole heap of games actually, so if he's one of the viewers in the channel, I'll do Jagged Alliance as the winner, and River Towns, which is not one of the Sharky Mouth ones, but I've got a River Towns key there as well. Whoever comes last will get River Towns. Whoever comes first will get Jagged Alliance 3. So we'll do it that way. Okay, so we'll just get started with the giveaways. Keyword, next, and next, win, just go done. So if you guys can start to type win in the chat, you'll then be in the running. Now we also had Serenity, I think, and there was another one as well. Who was it? Just going back, Darren Burnett. So if Darren's not in it as well, I'll add Darren in. Just do a copy there. The two, I did remember, so I am remembering things. Yeah, so just type in win. This will then sort of load itself in. Yeah, we'll just double check. These are the marble names. Darren Burnett. Serenity. And we'll just let these run in for a little bit longer. Got 23 entries at the moment. So first and last place will win. Oh, Darren is in there. Okay, so Darren's already there. I'll just go and take you out of the list. So I've already got. So it's just going to be Serenity. Will be the one that gets added in. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. When I get back, we'll run the game. a few more. So Louise is the looks to be the last of them coming in. So maybe the lucky number 10 would be better. So maybe in it with lots of players with only a few points. Yeah, I know. What we'll do is if there's if we have, it worked pretty well last time to actually go through and actually have the have like a system of doing a playoff. So we'll do a one race playoff if that's the case, because we'll then actually have the names. We'll sort of know who that actually is. All right, so we've got Space Explorers in there as well, 30 entries. I'll close it there. So you've got, until I actually set them up, then you've still got to, I can still add them in manually. So we won't choose a winner. What we want to do here is go to this and copy the entries. The cookie needs to be done differently. There's no, sometimes we have the same name with different people, but I'll just go in and do find and replace all, get rid of those. So it's 31. Okay, so that's it. We'll save that one away and get into Marble Run. See how many we've got. So 31, I think it was 31 in the end. I really like that we've found this actually. I mean, we had robots that were fighting each other initially, and I like the Marble Run a lot better. Just cancel that. Get rid of whatever that is. So I've got to set it up in race. I can't do it in the other one. Clear that one. And it's the same. May the odds never be in your favour. It was freaky last week having the having ZXM actually lost, but he was just happened to be the only one that died in a particular run, which gave him the actual loss for it. So I've got that one saved. Yep, so that one's actually ready to go. Open marble names. So we've got 31. So we'll just finish that one. Go back out. Grand Prix 31. Bots. 3 maps. Autofill. All right. Good luck, everyone. And we'll see how we go. So we'll just get started. All right, here we go, and we're off and running. So what's going to happen in here? Everything's sort of dwindling down into this region. Looks like a some sort of intricate pinball machine, doesn't it? It's going to be the first one out, the bottom here. John Layla is. John Layla, followed by Serenity, followed by JP. ZXM is in there as well. Straight across through the cannons and didn't make it. Sorry, John. Serenity did. ZXM did. Gojira did as well. So down into this region. So John Layla's out. Anyone who didn't make it, unfortunately. Serenity's still sort of moving through. So Gojira is on the other side. Serenity's moving up quickly. So this sort of mixing area will sort of will sort things out a little bit, hopefully. Even the playing field. Oh, a few of them are actually. I don't know what the level 1 is. I don't know what that means. They're not dying. They're leveling up for whatever reason. Serenity's still miles out in front here. Another cannon down this way. This could also be an area sometimes. Oh no, that's just going to slow things down a little bit. So Maladroit is now hit second place with Tiny Mutant Squid. ZXM following that one. Then Gyrox. Have we had other losses? Maybe someone else did actually drop off there. Well, if you're one of the few that drop off, it's actually could be a good thing. So Maladroit's actually hit the lead here somehow. Smashing his way through. Oh, I thought he was going to go straight through. Serenity almost made it straight through. Who's going to get out of this one? Richard Phillips got out of this one. Straight down to the cannon. Just go and follow his marble. Bang. And that's the finish line, and Richard is the leader. So Richard is the first finisher, followed by Tiny Mutant Squid, Gyrox, Tiger Russ, Maladroit. Where's Serenity got to? Serenity, I didn't see Serenity fall off. Oh, there he is. Got caught up after leading so well. Guy Bellaby coming back through. Invictus. There's still a few Space Explorer at the back there. Chris C. Like this is, if you get killed, it's 0 points, which can be a good thing when we have a loss like this. Everyone else is finishing quite easily. So Space Explorer may not make it, won't make it actually. Here comes the yellow to kill him off. Will he make it away? Will he make it away? Maybe. There's 1 point. Yep, got the 1 point. There we are. So final results. And if we just go back to the Grand Prix. So 20 points to Richard. Tiny Mutant Squid 15, 12 for Gyrox, 10 for Tiger Russ, and also for Cookie. And we only had one. John Layla was the only one with 0 points. So John's in the running for the last place now. Next map. Got 3 maps. Amazing Wondrous Waters. What this will be. Okay, Richard's out in front there again, or was. I might just grab a one of the marbles and we'll just sort of follow in what everyone's doing. Looks like it's almost a bit of a race, doesn't it? Very sedate, very relaxing. What a relaxing race this one is. Just go up to near the front. Just watch what's actually happening. So they're all just tracking along here. Bouncing off there. Everyone's collected themselves, and then we've got Bloyman has now sort of moved off. Okay, Richard Phillips back out in front again. Wow, this is if Richard ends up in the leader circle, he's going to be doing very, very well. It's a pretend waterfall or rapids backing around this way. So Richard's out in front again. Wow, this is very interesting. Pebble Dash has just taken the lead. No, Bloyman has now taken the lead in through here as well. Lots of rapids coming up. It's a pretty cool looking map actually. No one's died. Richard's fallen right back, so it's now sort of going to open the game up for other players. It's Pebble Dash that we're following. Pebble Dash out in front. Where do you go? Where do you go from here? There we are. There's a finish line. Who's going to get there first? It's Bloyman, it's Matt at Ravendesk, Pebble Dash third, Dave Flute, no? Who's going to come through this one? Who's going to be the next one in? Oh, it's Space Explorer, Louis, Gyrox, Dave Flute, Cookie, Richard and Chris. Charles Rennie and Mad Relox back into this other side. John Layler coming in there. So John Layler does pick up 1 point at least. The others are sort of stuck. CB and the others are coming through. Wonder what's happening there. No, that's the end of the race. Mad Relox is still stuck. 0 points. I don't know what's happened there. All right, so that was pretty cool. We've got the final results in through that side. Let's have a look at the Grand Prix. So Richard's on 24 points. Is anyone close to him? I mean, people are close, so it's pretty much anyone's game. Got 19 points there, 17 points there, 15 there, 16. So he's a little way out in front. 21 points down the bottom here with Bloyman. And John Layler's down with 2 points, but we've got, 1 point, but we do actually have a couple there with 2 points. So it's pretty much anyone's game at this stage with what's going on. So that is interesting. All right, let's go back in and go to the next map. This is the final map. And if we have sort of either joint last place or joint first place, we'll then do a runoff or a playoff. So down through the loop. Actually, what have we got this time? Straight through. Anything dangerous here? Nothing dangerous there that we can see. Yeah, there's something. This is going to get dangerous here, I think. We'll see what happens when they hit the electrical areas. Chris C out in front. Straight through. That didn't stop them at all. This is just going to delay them. There's nothing really, nothing dangerous in here, I don't think. Okay, first one through is Cygnus. Pebble Dash on the other side. JP Foster out in there as well. Giza Zone. Where's Richard Phillips? Can't see Richards. Cygnus back out in front there over this side. Getting, yeah, so Cygnus out in front there, only just, it's very, very close. So it should then come through here. Hoopja is actually now the first one through this area. And Serenity coming in behind. Straight through, that's actually pretty powerful. And over the top. Giza Zone, JP Foster, but Hoopja is a long way out in front here. Just go and choose the first place. No, he's now caught up in through here. Who's going to be the first one out of this? Still Hoopja. With Giza Zone right on his tail. Just in front. The all-important points. It's worth 5 extra points to come first rather than second. John Layler is doing well. I know Pebble Dash is gone. John Layler's gone. Okay, well that's John Layler I think has got this for the last place. I don't think anyone can now get to where John Layler is. Okay, finished is there. Hoopja followed by Giza Zone. Who's going to be next? Who's going to be next? JP Foster didn't make it. Space Explorer. Actually, they did make it, sorry. JP Foster, Space Explorer, Serenity, Cygnus, Goja, Tony Mutant, Squid. These are all sort of hitting the finish line. Lewis is in there as well. Tiger Russ. Here they all come. Here they all come. Guy Bellaby. Moving over. And a few died there at the back end. Darren Burnett and ZXM died. Okay, let's see what we end up getting with the final results. We'll just go straight to the actual winner. So let's go and finish the Grand Prix. And then we'll look at this. We'll have to then check on the scores to figure out who the actual winners were. But this will give us a bit of a clue. So the third place is Hoopja. Second place is Richard Phillips. Now I thought Richard was still going to be able to win that, but we've got Bloyamind has now hit the number one spot. So at this stage, congratulations. But we will have to look at the number. Whoa, by one. Okay, so Bloyamind, you actually win the key there for Jagged Alliance 3. So if you can contact me on Daz at ChatTactic, I'll just write this in the chat, tactic.com. So if you can actually send me an email over the next day, I'll get that key out to you. Let's see the all-important points for last place. This is often can be have a few of you actually vying for this particular spot. So as we scroll on down, we've got 3 points, we've got 2 points, we've got 1 point. Okay, we've got a playoff between Mad Relics and John Layla for 1 point each. So we have to do a playoff for both of these. So we'll just do a single race for this one through here. Hi, Battlemate, how you going? Guess it's a bit too late to join. Yes, it is a bit. So this is for the River Towns key, and so we'll now do a one race playoff with Mad Relics and John Layla. So we just go back across to our main menu and just do actually I won't do a Grand Prix, I'll just do a single race. Random, and bots will be 2. Now I've got to change the name. Actually, I forgot who they were. We had John Layla. What was the other one that came last? I just expected that it was just going to be John. Chris, Thomas. Foster. Was it Bloyman? No, Bloyman won. Maladroit. What have I missed here? Who's the other one that I need to add in? Oh, Mad Relics. Sorry, Mad Relics. There we go. So yeah, Mad Relics. There we are. Sorry about that. So we've got John Layla versus Mad Relics. So we'll just finish this one off. There's only 2 races in this one, so that's going to be okay. Go back to the race. Random. 2 bots. So we'll see who wins this one. If both get killed in whatever this race actually is, it's going to be basically whoever dies last wins. Good luck, guys. Good luck. There we go. So it's a big playoff for River Towns. So we'll just get started. Oh, hang on. I've got it set incorrectly. Just go back out to the main menu. Confirm. I've screwed that one up. Sorry, guys. Race. Yeah, bots 2. Right, there we are. Here we go again. We're both wishing each other good luck. You're starting in the soup in the haunted castle. So who's going to be the first one out the bottom here? Mad Relics has got the early lead. So now you're trying to win, not lose. There's some sort of ghost marble there as well. So Mad Relics out in front. So the last one to die, if anyone dies, that other one is the winner. Let's go and choose first place here. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. What does this mean? Are you dead? John Layla's still on the map. John Layla is still on the map. Oh, Mad Relics, you're out. John Layla wins. So we'll just finish it off. So for whatever reason, Mad Relics actually has crashed and died. But John Layla, even if you die now, you still win. Let's just see if you can actually win legitimately. Oh, so close. What a shame. I don't know what was around you. So we're inside the haunted castle now. With John's marble. Moving his way through. It's pretty cool, this game. I mean, there's so much there's so much that they've done in it. It's quite fun. Look around the staircase. I'm saying this map is beautiful, by the way. It's interesting, isn't it? It's funny how different they can be. We're going to some sort of ghostly tunnel now. And there's the finish line there. So he legitimately wins by losing the first bit and then winning the second bit. Congratulations, John, on yours as well. So if you can actually contact me on that one as well, that would be great. Yeah, well done, guys. So I'm going to leave it here, yeah, just I don't know what happened there with the marble there, Mad Relics, but anyway, abducted by a ghost or something. I've got no idea. Anyway, there's the 2 winners of the keys for today. So congratulations, guys. And I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Otherwise, I'll be streaming pretty much again every day. Different games coming up, of course. 2 days' time, we'll be playing Distant Worlds again. I'm not sure what I'll play tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not sure at all. It just depends on what I feel like when I wake up. Okay.